All right, here's the newly redesigned for 2023 Nokta Legend. You can see full carbon fiber here. It's a very thin carbon fiber as well. These cam locks are nice and tight, hold everything together really well. We'll weigh it in a second. This is the 12x9 coil. It's identical to the coil. Here's the Xterra coil, identical in size to the Xterra coil, the stock V12 Xterra. The arm cuff, everything is the same in the control box here. If you're running 1.11 for the software, the newest software update, everything will be the same. The arm cuff is completely redesigned. This is a very flexible arm cuff. Delic did mention to me that they're going to be adding a more rigid arm cuff, so kind of like a median between what is on the current one and this one, you know, something in the middle. I do like the flex in here, but I do agree with the feedback that others have provided that it is a little too flexible, so that will be slightly different in the released version here. But I haven't used the LG30 before. You saw the stock coil go through depth test in the past and the separation test that I've done. So we're going to do the same with the LG30. The Legend is one of the machines out there right now that you can lower that iron filter completely down. They opened this machine up to actually give good signals on even nails. So what we're going to do is we'll do the same test as before. We'll put the machine on the limit to ignore square nails on the surface, which would be, you know, best case scenario. And once we get an iron tone on that, we'll run it through that level 3 and level 4 and see how it does. When it comes to weight, let's weigh it. So we have 2.15 for the Legend. Let's take a look at the other two top dogs. I'm not going to weigh the Deus 2 because I only have the 9-inch coil, and we know that weighs a lot less. The Equinox 900 is 2.12, give or take a tiny bit because I have that cover on there. Let's see if it makes any difference. Nope, 2.12, the same there. And the Manticore, 2.14 for the Manticore. Let's look at them side by side. Very, very similar when it comes to fully collapsed. And there's a look at all three. So the Manticore, the Legend, and the Equinox 900 fully collapsed. Very, very close, convenient for traveling. Let's take this LG30 out to the test garden. We'll look at some depth, and then we'll look at some recovery speed. So you'll be seeing it the first time that I've seen it as well. So I don't know if this will be different when they're released. Just be careful when you're extending these cam locks. There's not an identifier on them of when they will fall out. You can see how thin it is, though. Very nice carbon fiber. But be careful for that because there's no like red line or anything on these yet, unless this is just a prototype shaft. But there's nothing on there yet to let you know where to stop. So you don't want that falling out on you. So we're in park. We're in M1. Sensitivity is at 25, and let's just check on our recovery speed. We'll go to 4, iron filter 1, stability 5. I've noticed that I was able to do separation tests with that, so we're going to try and compare depth and separation. We're not going to go back and forth. So if we need more than recovery speed 4 for the separation, we'll bump it up, but we'll leave the iron filter at 1 and stability 5. So here's an 8-inch hammered coin. And, you know, if you see the IDs bouncing around in this test garden, it's because it's very polluted. All machines will do that. There's iron everywhere in this test garden. 10-inch large cent. Nice stable ID on that 10-inch large cent. 7-inch Indian head penny. All right, that's nice and deep. Here is a 8-inch flat button. All right, let's see how it does on a rusty bottle cap. Rusty bottle cap, iron filter 1, stability 5. All right, that's with no bottle cap rejection as far as I know. Let's go take a look at that. No bottle cap rejection. 7-inch silver ring. You can tell all these really deep targets, they don't show anything on the ferro check. You really got to go by tone. 10-inch walk and half. So this is a good example of some iron being in the ground with it. You can see the ferro check on both sides there bouncing up and down. 8-inch silver dime. Hear how that's a whisper? It's getting, you can tell the audio response. It's whispering through because of the depth. This is a tough target. This is a 10-inch buffalo nickel. Hear that whisper coming through because of it? Let's go to sensitivity 30. Let's crank it up. Crank it up. Stable in the yard. Nice and stable. 8-inch buffalo nickel, so 2 inches less than that one. Really pulls it through. Here's a little separation test. We have a 7-inch silver, and there is a bottle cap next to it, and this 7-inch silver dime. Yep, pulls it right through. Let's look at the impact on recovery speed. So say I was at recovery speed 8. Let's first go over something like, so that 10-inch walk and half. All right, so that's at 4. Let's go up to 8. Not a huge impact there. 10. Really quiets down. Let's go to recovery speed 3 on that 10-inch buffalo nickel. I hear a lot longer tone. Let's go to 6. Really getting on the edge of detection there. Seemed like 4 was a good spot for it. Maybe 5. Let's check out the IDs. Yeah, good ID. That's a deep target. Let's see, 8-inch buffalo nickel again. Let's check the impact of recovery speed. We'll go all the way to 10. Still hits it. I wonder if we go down low if we'll see anything on the ferro check. Here's recovery speed 3. Yep, as the signal gets stronger, you'll get more information from the ferro check. All right, let's go, oh, here's us. This is a newer target, 8-inch silver thimble. All right, hitting all those without a problem. One thing I wanted to show, let me go over to recovery speed. This is a feature that they added that I haven't messed too much with, but this is a deep iron sidestep from an old wagon. So at bottle cap 0, let me go back to the screen. An iron sidestep is showing a good signal, really rusty. Median ferro check there coming up on both sides. All right, you don't want to rely on that ferro check, but it does give you some indication. So let me go back over to recovery speed hit pinpoint. Watch what happens when I crank up bottle cap. All right, let's turn on it. We're getting some more identification of iron. And let's go down with it again. 0. No iron tone there at all. But when we do crank it up, we get a better indication of iron. And look at the ferro check. Let's see what the ferro check says on 0. Not much change in the ferro check, but we do get a lot better tone at bottle cap 0. So bottle cap definitely seems to be helping with larger iron too. Maybe if it was a bottle cap all the way up to say 10, then you know, they could knock that out if they raised it a little more. Because we're getting a lot of good on the non-ferrous side. But you see we are getting an iron tone now. So maybe in another update they'll raise that up a little more and it'll actually knock out all the big iron for us. That would be great. But you could tell a nice indication of iron there. All right, let's take a look at the separation. Okay, so I set up a separation test here with all 4 levels of separation, same as the other videos. This is the first time the LG30 is going to go through this test. So I have it in park, multi 2, recovery speed 6, bottle cap 0, ground stability 0, iron filter 1, and stability 4. Same setup as before. Stability 4 knocks out these nails. There is no rebar in the ground. I couldn't afford the rebar, so I just got a cement slab poured. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the same 4 levels. If you haven't seen any of these tests, this is same plane. So a buffalo nickel and a nail, bob or dime nail. We raise up 1/2 inch here with a nail and bob or dime. All these are square nails that I've dug. This is 1/2 inch buffalo nickel. Then level 3 goes to 1 inch, same bob or dime and a nickel. Level 4, very difficult test where it's raised 1.5 inches, 2 gram piece of gold, mercury dime, and silver quarter. So let's go through here, same plane, and this is a buffalo nickel. I know I mentioned earlier about how bottle cap can help ignore big iron, but it also has a large impact on separation. So I'm just going to crank this bottle cap all the way up to 8. And you can see how we lost our 2-way hit. That's hitting off the one end of the coil. That's why you hear that double beep. But if I go down and bring that back down to 0, you'll hear a lot cleaner target. Nice 2-way hit. So be careful with that bottle cap reject. It will help you ignore large iron, but you'll do some masking there. So same plane bobber dime. No problem, and this is all with recovery speed 6. Bobber dime, 1/2 inch raised. Okay, we're looking for a repeatable signal, but we're also looking at the ferro check and also the tone. So these are pretty easy. The machines didn't have an issue, any of the machines hitting these. The reason that I made these fairly easy is because, you know, beginner machines that I do test, we'll see how they do. So here is a 1/2 inch, and here's the buffalo nickel. Let's come up a little bit. Let's get a little closer. All right, let's raise that recovery speed, see if that helps. His 7. Still a little choppy. Let's go down with recovery speed. Let's try 4. I've noticed that with the Legend that faster recovery speed doesn't always help you out. So here's recovery speed at 10, which can sometimes do more damage than good. Hear how that's coming in? Now let's go back down to that sweet spot of 4 in this instance. All right, so we'll stick at 4 and we'll raise up as we go. So now we're at 1 inch raised nail and bobber dime. A little choppy one way, so let's go to recovery 5. Much better. Here is the 1 inch raised nickel. 1 inch raised nail over the nickel. Here is this is a really tough test here. So 1.5 inch raised nail over the 2 gram gold piece. Really no issue there. 1.5 inch over the mercury dime. Really good job. And over the quarter, 1.5 inch raised. Really nice job. I definitely think that this coil separates better than the stock coil from what I can see. We definitely had to make more modifications before to recovery speed. So there's a look at the new Legend for 2023. Everyone, hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.